Yo, stay focused, man's on a mission. Wavy like the ocean, ain't got time for inhibition. Eyes on a prize, lock it in your vision. Straight up, man, that's gotta make a decision. Stay focused, man, I gotta go. Can't be going backwards, I can't be going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show.
Good morning, YouTube. How are y'all doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. It's another early morning for me. I get up way early in the morning, probably earlier than most. You know, some of you may get up sooner, earlier than me, but it's another early morning. Today's video is kind of a, I guess it's kind of a both Motivation Monday and a maybe combined with a Ticked Off Tuesday video. It's been a minute since I've done either of those videos, but anyway, it starts out with a quote from Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink was the author of Extreme Ownership. If you haven't read that book, highly recommend it. It's a good book, very good book. I'm not going to get a whole lot into that, but he was a commanding officer in the Navy SEALs out in Iraq, and he tells a lot of the stories about that, and he kind of relates them to business, and they also have a business consulting business, and they use a lot of that, but not gonna get too much into that. That's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is a quote he made. It's a very short quote, but it's excuses are lies. And you hear so many people that they don't take accountability for anything. They just make excuses to try and get out of anything. You know, if they screw up, or if something happens, or if something goes wrong, they're always trying to make excuses. They try to blame it on something else that has nothing to do with them. Anything to get them out of trouble. You know, well, it was the weather that made me late, or hey y'all, sorry to interrupt the show, but I just wanted to just come on real quick and thank y'all for watching. And if you haven't already, and you feel obliged, why don't you go down and do the YouTube stuff real quick. Take a couple seconds and smash that subscribe button, or just tap it, or just hit it, or caress it, or whatever you gotta do. Just hit that subscribe button. According to my analytics, only 10% of you are actually subscribed, and so, I mean, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Hit the, and if you want to support the show financially a little bit, if you're inclined, no pressure, but there's that super thanks button if you feel like it. There's also memberships if you want to join. Don't quite have any members yet, but we'll get there. But anyway, just hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up, and do the stuff. Appreciate y'all. I love you. I wouldn't be doing this without you. Alright, now back to the show. Or they try to blame it on something or someone else, so that, or they make an excuse. Well, I couldn't do it because my back was hurting that day, or I couldn't do it because, and that's not necessarily a lie. Maybe your back was hurting, but the more excuses you make, they turn into just like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'm going to make something up. I'm just going to, like a lot of people when they call in sick from work, they're really not sick. They just make an excuse. They just use sick as the excuse to not come to work. And I feel that way all the time. In fact, I've done it my share. I'm not totally perfect. I'm guilty of some of that too. Sometimes I just don't feel like going to work today. I don't have the motivation. I'm gonna call in just so I can sleep, or just so I can just take a day off, because I need a day off. But kind of goes back to another video I made. I don't know if it's up yet or which one I put on first, but of discipline. You gotta stay disciplined. Don't make excuses. Be disciplined. Go get up and do it. If it needs to be done, it needs to be done. And that's just the thing. So it's one of those, just get it done and quit making excuses. Excuses are just lies. I hear it all the time. And you see it all the time. It's like it's a never-ending thing. People just, they'd rather make an excuse and lay the blame on something else, whether natural or human or whatever. They just come up with something to excuse their. But most of the time, it's just a lie. You're just telling a lie to get me off your back or whatever, and that ticks me off. Take discipline, have discipline, take responsibility, accountability, and quit coming up with excuses. Because even you're lying to yourself, you're lying to everybody, you're lying to anybody. It's not the weather that made you late. It's not. I mean, maybe sometimes it is, but maybe your alarm didn't go off, or maybe there's always something. But most of the time, your alarm went off. You just didn't get out of bed. You just couldn't get your butt out of bed, or whatever. And sometimes maybe it is legit. You had a flat tire, but excuses are lies. And quit making excuses. Take accountability for your action. I do it, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. Again, I've done a lot of this too. My boss comes to me and why didn't this get done? And oh man, that was stuck on there, or I didn't remove this part or whatever, and it was stuck, and I just didn't feel like fighting it anymore. Sometimes when you're fighting something on a car to get the part off, because some parts are hard to come off, and you don't, and if you don't have to take it off, just say it's stuck on there. Some parts just how long do you want me to fight with it before I get it off, or should I actually there's just things that why didn't you cut that branch? Oh, it was my saw got too dull, or well, you should have still cut it, or whatever your job is, whatever it was, you're blaming it on the saw, blaming it on the tool, blaming it on the weather, blaming it on just making up excuses. Excuses are lies, and so anyway, I'm gonna start rambling if I keep going. So quit making excuses, me included. Let's get this together. Let's not make it. Let's take accountability. Let's act accordingly and take accountability. And nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, but not everybody needs to just make excuses about those mistakes. Yeah, I screwed up. Sorry, I'll do better. I messed up. I got to get out of bed. I have to. I can't call in because I got bills to pay, or I can't because whatever the reason is. I gotta go. I gotta do it. I can't make excuses. I gotta get it done. I can't. You know when I do videos early in the morning, I have to get up extra early in the morning to do these videos, and I'm tired. I don't feel like doing it. I enjoy doing them. I'd rather do this than my normal job. If I could do this full time, it'd be a lot better. But I got to get up extra early in the morning to do these videos because, you know, and almost every single morning I get up and my alarm goes off to get up and do videos, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to bed. I'm just gonna lay down until time to go to work, and more often than not, that's what happens. So I'll get up and I'll do. So on those days that I do get up, I'll do 3 or 4 videos all at the same time, and there I got 3 videos now. It bought me a few days to rest. I mean, it is what it is. When I go to work, I'm getting up there in age, and my age is definitely catching up to me and fast. And I have a very physically demanding job, and I come home, and after I get home, I do daddy duties, I do husband duties, I do around the house duties, I do, I've got all that stuff to take care of, and you know, got to cook dinner. My wife's been out of town a lot. She goes out of town for sometimes a week at a time, and so I got to come home. I got to fix dinner. I got to do my dad chores that things need to be done that around the yard, around the garage. By the time I'm done with that, I'm beat and I'm ready to go down and hit the sack. And it's like now I got to get up extra early to do videos, and sometimes I just make an excuse like, oh, I'm just going to stay in bed. I couldn't get out of bed. I'm having a hard time. Just get up and do it. That goes along with discipline and excuses. Quit making excuses. Just do it. You don't want to go to the gym because of whatever reason. Go to the gym. You're aching. Your body hurts. You've got something, you know, better to do. Your friend wants to go hang out. Those are just excuses. Excuses are just lies. But anyway, again, I'm starting to ramble. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Be sure you hit that subscribe button. Only 10% of you are actually subscribed. So if you made it this far, obviously you're interested in the show. So why don't you just hit the subscribe button? Do us both a favor and smash it. Well, you don't need to smash it. You can caress it. You can pet it. You can love on it. You can whatever you want to do. Just hit the button. Okay. Just hit the subscribe button. Costs you nothing. Takes you a couple seconds, if that. And you really helped me out a lot. Anyway, appreciate you. Love you. I'll see you in the next one.